I need to make a call. She's on speed dial. It won't take long. I'd like to speak with Liliana Scarnetti, please. Liliana Scarnetti. Okay, could you give her a message for me, please? Could you tell her that we're being inducted into the Canadian Speaker Hall of Fame? She won't know what that is, but tell her it's good. Okay, it's her daughter. Thank you. I never get to say her name anymore. Liliana Scarnetti. She loved me from my first breath until her last breath, and she was my greatest fan. When I would regale her with stories of the road, she would always just look at me really strange, and she would just say, "I can't believe I borned you. I can't believe I borned you." Because you see, my mother didn't find her voice until she was probably in her 80s. And I was making damn sure that I was using my voice. She didn't use hers. As you may or may not know, I'm just coming off a 10-day silent retreat. Hashtag speaker jail. And it was all about, you'll find this funny, releasing ego. I have to leave the retreat now because I'm going to fly 12,000 miles across the country and back to receive an award that is 100% about ego. And I'm going to drag my husband with me, so we'll spend thousands of dollars on this, what I like to call my ego trip. So, I thank my mother. And I thank my kids because I started this job. This is my 20th year in business. I started this job when they were teenagers. And do you know how many teenagers, we had 3, do you know how many teenagers want their parent to be a motivational speaker? Exactly none. So thank you, kids, and I know I made them embarrassed more times than not, but I hope this can make them a little bit proud. My husband, his professional name, his name is Randy, but his professional name is The Hub. That's how audiences know about him. But maybe if you could just rise and do a little royal wave. He loves attention, as you can imagine. Our first date was on his 18th birthday, and this is not what he married it. Like he did, this is not what he signed up for. And I think being the spouse of a professional speaker is not an easy role. It is not easy on a marriage. It is sometimes not good for a marriage. And this guy has put up with more than anybody should have to ever put up with. And he keeps supporting me time and time again. So when I would say things like, I think I should shave off my hair to raise money for the local hospital, he's like, I don't really think that's a good idea, but okay. Or when I said, I should like to try and break a Guinness Book of World Records for a number of hugs in a minute, he's like, well, I don't want to do it, but okay. How about move across the country and leave everything you've ever known? If that's what you want, okay. What if we handcuff ourselves together for 24 hours? He said, okay. So our son's a police officer, and I said, can you get me a pair of official handcuffs? And then they showed up 2 days later. I said, did you not want to know what we wanted the handcuffs for? And as a police officer, he said two things. He goes, first of all, it's you. And second of all, in policing, they say if you don't want to know the answer, don't ask the question. So thank you so much for supporting me through this roller coaster ride of marriage and professional speaking and life, and there's nobody else I want to do this with but you. So I'm taking this to the grave. So the weird thing is, like, they didn't give me a time limit. Well, that wasn't smart. But the only thing coming between you and dancing is me. And I really like dancing, so. Perhaps you've heard about the CAPS buffet. So I always say everything I learned from the professional speaking world, I learned here. When I came here, I didn't even know what a lavalier mic was. I still don't know how to spell it, but I know what it is now. So I have never, they could have mailed me the plaque, but I came here because I thought if I come here, I get to actually see the CAPS buffet in person, and I've never had that opportunity before, like I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to call out some specific people and some general people, and if it fits you what I say, I'd like you to please come onto the dance floor. If you helped me write my very first book, please come onto the dance floor. No, don't. We'll just save the applause because otherwise you'll be clapping for every. No, sorry. I'm going to be more specific. Sit down. Sit down. If you volunteered 6 months of your life to weekly help me without pay, if you phoned me from Barcelona to say I love your book, I cried, I laughed. I don't even do that at books. If you did that, that happened. If you told me the first draft of my book sucked. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. No, stay now. Everybody needs, we all have people that say good job, but you need somebody to say, that is not your voice and you can do better. And I did. Stay. If when I did 50 challenges in my 50th year, you challenged me to learn an instrument, write a song, and sing in public, and literally changed my life since that day. Come on. One of those singly would have been a game changer, but all three in tandem were life-changing. If you called me during COVID and asked me if I needed a loan, please come on the dance floor, and I believe you've shared every convention note with me and many, many other people as well. Elaine. Maybe she went to the bathroom. She left? Oh. If every time we pass in the hall at a CAPS convention for years, we tell each other something that we didn't know about each other. If you let me try your stilts, come on up. If you told me that you enjoyed my presentation and asked me, do you want to know why, and told me specifically what I do, if you've ever heard me speak and said something to make me do better, please come up. If you read in between the lines of a Facebook post and figured out that I was going through a traumatic event and called me, even though we barely knew each other, please come up. If you rescued my daughter in South Africa after her house was broken into and one girl was stabbed and they were robbed, please come up. If you've ever been in a mastermind with me, if you've ever been a power partner with me, if you've ever worked with me, if I've ever stayed at your house, if we've cooked a meal together, if I've been to your vacation house or you've been to mine. Wait a minute, I don't have a vacation house, but if I've been to your, but I would invite you there if I had one. If you've fed me at your home, if you've showed me your city, if I've showed you mine, if you were with me from the very beginning when it was CAPS Winnipeg, if you welcomed me to the BC chapter, If you partnered with me in any way, hired me, I've been on your stage, you've been on mine, I interviewed you on my radio show. Maybe I was on your podcast. If you are have been supportive of anybody else, me or anybody else in this family, if you're sharing my joy right now, can you please come onto the dance floor? They didn't give me a time limit. It's not my fault.
You go, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much. If I've uttered a kind word to you, if you've uttered a kind word to me, you get where I'm going here, right? This literally is the CAPS buffet. And what I say is everything you need to know about the speaking business is here. But we don't feed you. You have to figure out what you want, go get what you want, take what you want, and everything you need to know about the speaking business is here. If I've ridden a motorcycle with you. But it's it's going to be kind of an old analogy. So I thought maybe it'd be time for a new one. So because I have done everything on stage that you could possibly imagine that could go wrong, just in the last 2 months, I've been on big stages and I have flashed the audience to reveal bicycle shorts under. I have showed up in a bathrobe, I've done these things, and still, they give me this award. But what I realized when I got it was a postal strike, so I didn't get a letter, and I got an email saying you've been nominated. And I'm like, surely this is a mistake, because I'm still an emerging speaker. But I checked the email, and it had my name, and so I think this is correct, I guess. And then I went through all sorts of I am not worthy, I am not worthy. And then I went to the CAPS website, and I looked up the Hall of Fame page, because I'd never been there before, because I'd never aspired for this. And I thought, well, I'll just write down some of the things that I've done. And then the privilege of looking at your career, 20 years of your career, was mind-boggling. And I'm like, I've done some shit. I've done some shit. And of all the things I've learned from CAPS, what I've learned is you can be absolutely 100% you in all your craziness and silliness or just anything. As the more you are, it gets to be good enough, and that's what this is validating. Whether I got it or not, just looking at your career, and if you start jotting things down, you will be amazed at you. You will be frickin' amazed at you. So, I have a new analogy. It's gonna be a song. It's gonna be, this is what I tell my audiences. The lyrics are important, so I can recite the lyrics to you, or I can sing it a cappella, which is sure to be a joy. And then I say, on the count of 3, tell me what you wanted me to do. 1, 2, 3. Sing. And they always say sing, so even when I'm bad, it's not my fault because they said it. So here it is. You're going to know the last line. I will cue you in a little bit, just in case, but you will know the last line. But here we go. We've got, -10. I didn't even notice that till right now. Sorry. I'm almost done. We've got a special family. Our house is very full. It's loving and it's kind and a bit dysfunctional. And in this house, there's many rooms. Pick which one suits you. You can even change the room depending what you do. Sales or resiliency, AI, security, motivation, leadership, or productivity. And in this house, between the rooms, there are a lot of halls. You can take any one of them. It matters not at all. You may take the Hall of Fame or one for CSPs, one for CEOs, and one for celebrities. There's a hall for those who overcame incredible odds, and one for those who tackled mountain climbing like jobs. No matter which room you take or from which hall no matter which room you're from or which hall you take, we are all heading to this same sacred space. At the back of the house, when it's time to open up that sliding door, you will see the brilliant sun lighting up the shore, And on the beach you won't believe, even though you've heard, 100,000 starfish are just waiting to be hurled. The tide's gone out, they're stranded there, helpless as can be. You roll up your sleeves with your Caps family, and suddenly a guy walks by, he says, "You're out of your minds. You can't help all of them, there just isn't time." And with a smile, we shake our heads because we know the truth. Helping starfish to the sea is just what we do. And even though we can't help them all, it's still a lot of fun. We know without a doubt we make a difference to that one. Thank you so much.
Stephanie Staple.